Ladies and gentlemen, welcome to ICYC Reality TV. On our shows at ICYC, we are going to bring a myriad of events, activities, experiences that the young people undergo in life. This is an interactive show whereby we are going to help each other debunk issues that affect our lives as the young people. From career to talents, to dating issues, emotional issues, and other development issues. This show is going to be very interesting, and I urge you to be tuning in to Airmobi TV every once a week, and also on ICYC Reality TV on YouTube. Thank you very much.
Welcome everyone. This is the ICYC Youth Show. I am your host, Sarah Moreithi, and today we are going to discuss youth empowerment. We have a guest on set and he will tell us more about how he's empowering the youth. How are you, mister?
I'm very fine, Sarah. Thank you for welcoming on set.
You're welcome.
Thank you.
Tell us more about yourself.
Okay, my name is Paul Ashuma.
Yeah.
I'm a teacher by profession. And also I work with the Youth National Movement, known as Vijana Tukorada Movement. Currently, I'm the Secretary General for the movement.
Okay.
Thank you.
So what's your occupation?
Okay, my occupation is being a teacher. I've taught several schools when I was still in school at my campus level, and also after I finished my campus level. So in 2018, I was teaching at a school known as St. Francis High School, Runda, in Thika. And also later, I went for my teaching practice in 2019, August, May, at a Gloucester High School in Thika, at a place known as Mudaiga. Yes.
Tell us which schools have you taught, where you began your journey in teaching, where you began your passion, because I believe it just didn't come like that. You just don't wake up one day and find yourself a teacher. You have a story, right?
Yes.
Yes, we want to hear that story.
Thank you, thank you. Okay, teaching, we say that teaching is a calling.
Yeah.
Yeah, so teaching wasn't in my mind, first of all. As I was in high school, I really wanted to be a neurosurgeon. Yeah. That's it. But things happened. Now, being a neurosurgeon, I had to get an A, a clean A, but I didn't get that one. But having managed the grade to go to the university, I had to now choose another option. So I chose being a teacher for education, and now I came to Mount Kenya University in 2016 September to start my bachelor's degree in education arts. So that's how my teaching began. But before that, I had also taught in high school in 2016 early as a youth untrained teacher. We normally call it UT. I also was a music teacher in that school because music was passion, and I was, since high school, music was in me. I was the music leader from Form 2 up to Form 4, and we went into several places. So being at that way, and I had a school nearby where I was staying back in my local village. So I had to go help them in teaching, and also when the music came, I had to step in to also give them what I had been given with my previous teachers.
Okay, that's nice.
Yes.
So do you have practical experience in being a teacher?
Yeah, practical experience, yes, I have it. Having taught, I think now it's 3 years I can say. Was taught in 2018, 2019, and 2020.
Okay,
yes.
That's nice. So please tell us more about Vijana Tukorada.
Yeah, Vijana Tukorada movement is a national movement that entails, aims at empowering the youth in matters of politics, social welfare, and also economic welfare. When we talk about empowerment, so as a movement, our main aim is to help the youth identify themselves and help them get their own way of survival. Being Kenya, having many youth unemployed,
Yeah.
we had to come up with a way of helping them to get ideas that may help them get their own or put their food on the table. So, for example, let me say in Viga, we have, let me take you back for a while. In Viga, we have Vijana Tukorada movement, at county level. They have a project for rearing the chickens.
Yeah.
So last year they had about 500 chickens. That one is 500. The daily is 500 eggs. If you multiply by 10 shillings, that's 5,000 per day.
Yeah.
So if you can see that 5,000 per day, making it per month, is a lot of money. And also being a youth, if you do, now in our movement, being a youth, and if you want a loan under VTRM,
Yeah.
we can give you the loan because you are a member, and also you are one of us in these empowerment programs. Yes.
Well, I think that is very inspiring.
Yes.
I believe everything starts from somewhere, right?
True.
So kindly tell us, where did this VTRM start from? Yeah.
Okay. VTRM started in 2019 January.
Yeah.
So I wasn't a member back then, but I was in other activities, I love working with the youth.
Yeah.
So before I joined VTRM, I started I was a youth leader in my own youth group known as Kiganjo United Youth Group.
Yeah.
That was formed in Kiganjo, Thika. And I was the chairperson of that group. And that's when I started interacting with the youth at this level. So from there is when I became, after the movement, then the youth group went down. I came up with another group. Now, being in Thika, but I love my people in Kakamega County.
Yeah.
So I formed a group in Kakamega County, being the Kakamega Youth Group. So I was the chairperson of that group.
Just a minute.
Yeah.
That means you came from Kiganjo and went to Kakamega.
Not really, sorry. Let me take you back. I was in Kakamega.
Yeah.
That's my hometown.
Okay.
That's where I was born.
Yeah.
So I was in Thika, but I formed an WhatsApp group for Kakamega youth because I had some connection with the people within the county because I'm from there.
Yeah.
So that's when I formed that group. And in 2020 May, I was approached by the VTRM president, Dr. Isaac Otondo,
Yeah.
and he told me to come on board to help VTRM grow. So he had seen some potential in me,
Yeah.
so that I bring the potential to the youth. So I went back to my people, the Kakamega Youth Group. I told them that we have seen some like-minded people who want to merge with us. So being that movement is a national movement, we have to merge under their name.
Yeah.
So that's when I came up with the Kakamega Vijana Tukorada movement, which was formerly the Kakamega Youth Group that was under me. Then I became the first Kakamega Vijana Tukorada movement chairperson. That was 2020 May, during the Corona period.
Yeah.
Yes, sir.
So during the Corona period, we had a lot of people complain about loss of jobs. But at that time, you want to tell me you people were building something constructive.
Yeah, that's it. Yeah, thank you. On 2020, people understand. People know that it was a very difficult year.
Yeah.
Because the Corona thing was a new thing that I love what the CS Health says. We had to deal with the new normal.
Yeah.
So that was the new normal. So we had to find other ways of dealing with this Corona thing, and also other ways to bring food on the table of the youth.
Yeah.
So, being a youth leader, I had to go and find like-minded people to see how we can help this youth grow. Because with the Corona, it came with depression.
Yeah.
Some people, there was loss of job,
Yeah.
loss of property and other things. So we had to talk to the youth, also to help them and help them get, convince them that they can do, or they can achieve something from the Corona period. So that's when many people, if you see nowadays, we have a lot of social media, let me say YouTube channels,
Yeah.
YouTube TV channels, because they came up, those YouTube TV channels came up during the Corona period. There was, that's when the youth now went back to online media. You remember they told us that now we are working from home, we are working online. So people had to come to be creative and come up with that. So that's when I, with my group, decided to join Vijana Tukorada movement because I saw something at the end of the tunnel.
Okay, that's
Yes.
nice. You talked to us about forming the VTRM online
Yes.
in WhatsApp. So tell us about the journey until now.
Okay. Now, VTRM, I started as Kakamega County Chair, VTRM Kenya. And I was, the group had, the first day the group had 170 something people.
Yeah.
So the first 3 days, my work was to come up with, to make the group full and also come up with the county executive structure. That was the requirement of VTRM. So I was, in the first 3 days, I had to come up with a county executive structure,
Yeah.
the chairperson, the deputy chairperson, the secretary general, and the other people who are at the executive level. So I managed that within the first 2 days. I had come up, the group was full, and I had come up with
A
the
group of how many people?
online group. You know, we understand WhatsApp takes to maximum of 256.
Yeah.
It was full.
In just 2 days?
In just 2
Wow.
days.
So how did you mobilize the people to join? Particularly talking about the youth, they know how hard it is to mobilize youth to come and support something. So how did you go about all that?
Okay, thank you. So being that I had some connection with the people back at Kakamega,
Yeah.
I had to talk, I had the connection to the president of Masinde Muliro University,
Yeah.
the president of Maseno University, and some of the colleges, the Sigalagala Technical College in Kakamega, and some of them. So I had to find them, talk to them, and tell them that this is a movement that is promising to the youth, and I want you to help me get people. So having those leaders, it was very easy to make them the county executive chair and the county executive members, since they have the leadership qualities.
Yeah.
Yeah. They lead in their respective universities and colleges, and it was easy for them to come up to help me get the 256 people within the first 2 days, and also to form the county executive structure.
Wow, that's really inspiring. So tell us more, how did you, now after mobilizing everyone to come into the group, what was your agenda and how has that agenda been run up to now?
Thank you. Okay, my agenda was to help these youth understand that there's something outside their comfort zone.
Yeah.
Because in Western, let me say, or most youth, they believe that after school, there's job automatically, which is a lie.
Yeah.
Because currently I'm not employed.
Okay.
Yeah, I did teaching, but I'm not now teaching. But I have my certificates in the house.
Yeah.
So, you see, this cocoon of being that there is a job after every education session is a lie. So I had to come up with a session, something that tell them that we can do this apart from waiting for the professional jobs. So that's when I convinced them, and they saw that need to make that Kakamega Vijana Tukorada movement,
Okay.
and the ideas that I shared to them.
Wow.
Thank you.
So we'll take a short commercial break and we'll resume right after. Welcome back. We are still talking about youth empowerment, and we are learning a whole lot from our guest here, Mr. Paul Ashuma. So, Mister,
Yes.
why did you get interested in the youth?
First of all, I'm a youth myself. Yeah. So being a youth, I had to find a way of helping my fellow youth grow. Having come from a humble background back at home, I saw the need to also embrace the youth and also help them find other ways of making something. So first of all, I think I came from if we talk about how coming from a humble background, my schooling was just by grace of God.
Yeah.
Since I started my nursery school level with my mother. Then later on I went to primary level. I stayed with my brothers and sisters, my bigger brothers and sisters,
Yeah.
in Eldoret. I schooled at a school called the Kapsaos Primary School back in Eldoret, a school that helped me learn a lot because we were living in a cosmopolitan place.
Okay.
Yeah, so being a cosmopolitan place, I had to learn to interact with different tribes, different kinds of people, and different religions. So I learned a lot from them. And then I went to high school in my Kakamega County ancestral homeland at a school called the Shibinga Secondary School in a sub-county called the Huisero. That's where I did my high school level. Then, through God's mercies, first of all, I was not to join the university. Let me surprise you with that.
Wow.
I was not to join university. Since back in 2016, the grades for university, I think for the boys was a B of 60, and for the ladies was a B minus of 58 points. So I didn't manage to get the 60 points in 2015.
Yeah.
I got 58 points, which was a B minus.
Wow.
So having dropped 2 points, I had no other option. My brother took me to, he was doing a certain job, so he asked me to go and help him as I was waiting for the way forward. So the results came. I was in a forest, in Kaptagat forest. We were just harvesting electric poles. So the results came. To my shock, I had missed 2 points. So I was disappointed that day. My brother told me, you have failed us. We expected that you are going to the university. But after a day, I told him, there is God.
Wow.
And if he says yes, nobody can say no. So I know I'll continue with my education. So my dad had called me and tell me that because you have lost 2 points, you are now going back to high school to get the 2 points so that you may go to the university. I had to go back to my former high school.
So you just agreed?
I agreed.
You were that focused?
Yeah, but the same thing happened when I was finishing my class 8. I got 300 marks. So I was told that these marks cannot, yes, they are, well, you can go to high school, but we want you to go and get you sponsors or be sponsored with the sponsors like Equity Bank. So we want you to go back to primary school for class 8. You get the 350 that Equity requires so that you may be sponsored.
Wow.
So who is my uncle, my brother, my father's brother, had to intervene and told them that this boy has to go to high school. There's no repeating in primary. He has to go to high school. So he can change that to another level in high school. So when I was told in Form 4 now you have to repeat again, I had no other option there but just to go back to high school.
What was your immediate reaction when your father called you? Did you just agree or was there some reluctance?
No, I had to agree because he was the one to pay the fees.
Yeah.
And I had failed him because the funny thing is that I was poor in math. And that he told me that this one will make you not to go to university.
Okay.
And indeed, after I failed, I saw that math was the one that I failed a lot. So I had to go back and correct that math grade. So I went back to my high school. That day I went and reported. I was told to go back and get the 6,000 shillings for registration of the exams and also come tomorrow with the uniform. When we finished high school, we had given away our uniforms and so on. So I had to get another uniform.
I can imagine the hype of getting done with high school. You sold everything.
Yeah.
And now your father is saying you need to go back.
Imagine, and that you have been working. Yeah, you have now out of high school, you have been working, making your own money. And now you're going back to start asking your parents for another money.
Was there any shame? You know, you're going back to people who are quite behind you academically.
Yes.
Yeah, was there any shame, any remorse, or were you just like, I need to get this grade?
But what was in my mind was that I need to go to university. That was in my mind.
Yeah.
That you need to go to university and make your family proud.
Okay.
Because, funny enough, being the second last in the family of 8, and no one has gone to university, they are just to college level, I had to, at least one of us, to stay with that university. Even if it's at the gate and go back, I'll go to the university. So that thing made me to go and struggle a lot. So when I went back to the high school, I was there, I met the deputy and told him, he said something in Kiswahili that wengine walikuwa wanasoma kama wewe umekaa tu, sasa umerudi kutusumbua tena. I told him I've not come back to bring trouble. I just want to get those 2 points and go to university.
Wow.
So I went, but that statement from the deputy somehow demoralized me. So when I went back home that day, the next day I was to report with the 6,000 shillings and the other cash. So I went back home, but my mind was now, why we go back to school again? If this is what you are going, the first day the deputy has told you this, and I went back at home. I stayed there. My father I stayed with my stepmom. So you understand this level of staying with a stepmom. Sometimes it's not that. I don't say she's bad,
Yeah.
but she was kinda. Some restrictions that from being I've been living my own life, now going back to that cocoon, I didn't want. So on that day she mentioned something that evening that also now killed my hopes.
You were like, I'm not going back
I'm
to
not
that
going
school.
back to school.
I'm done.
I'm done. I remember that night I didn't sleep.
Uh-huh.
I sat on the table with the electricity is not at home. I said they call it kibatari in Kiswahili. Yeah. So it was on the table. I took a book, wrote a letter to my dad. Told him I'm not going to rewind the school.
Yeah.
I'm done because of this and this and this. Let me, if there is hope, I have the hope that I will join university and God will open ways.
Yeah.
So I left the letter on the table at 5 a.m. I packed my things. My mom lives in Kitale, so that's where she is. So I had to pack from Kakamega to Kitale. I left at 5 a.m. and that's how I didn't rewind my high school. So my father was disappointed that I didn't want to rewind high school. My mother was disappointed. So, but I kept on telling them that I'll join university. I know there's something telling me back of my mind that you are going to join university in September when the others are joining. So it went like that. I went back home and my brothers were disappointed in me. I don't want to rewind high school. But I had to go back to Eldoret to stay with my bigger brother. Stayed at my dad's place. And now I started hustling. I have to get money. I have to go to school. That is in my mind.
So
if they don't pay for me, I'll pay for myself. That was in my mind. So I went up to cut the story short. It was in August when I was just after Mjengo. Now I'm in my house. I received a message from my high school teacher that telling me that, have you checked? The government have reduced the point for boys is 58 and for girls is 56.
Wow.
I was like, how? Are you joking? So I called one of my friends who had joined university, but from Eldoret, and he told me, it's in the news. Go and check. Immediately I called my dad and then that I'm going to the university. He was like, how? The government has reduced the points to my points, the 58 one. I now want to go to the university. I was very happy. So he called me, I went home, did the procedures, and I managed to join Mount Kenya University. I came alone in Mount Kenya University. I admitted myself in Mount Kenya University.
Alone?
My dad don't know where Mount Kenya University is located now.
Really?
Even my parents. The one who knows is my aunt, who came after a week I had joined. So that's the brief story about how I was interested in helping other youth. Because I had gone through a lot that if I tell someone the story I've been through, it may encourage him or her to see the positive side of life. So that's the little bit, the bits and bits that helped me to where I am.
Okay, so we are about to wind up.
Yes.
Let me ask you the last question.
Yes.
What is the role of Vijana Tukorada movement?
Yeah, the role of Vijana Tukorada movement, we majorly want to educate the youth, help the youth overcome their life challenges. For example, for now, if you can see, there's high rate of drug and substance abuse and crime, which are interrelated. For example, if you find some boys, a very young kid, for example, a class 8 student, a Form 1 student, abusing drugs. So you ask him why. He tells you, oh, it's the kind of life, peer pressure. You know, majorly these things are brought by peer pressure. So he sees his friend using them, you want to use them. They say that tell me your friend, and then I tell you who you are. And the father of the birds of the same feathers flock together. So he starts interacting with these people who are bad characters as a youth. So I have to go and talk to that kid, talk to that student to have change his life. Majorly, we have impacted a lot of life when I'm talking to the youth. I've had several sessions talking to the youth about drug and substance abuse, HIV and AIDS, and all the STIs. I've been encouraging them a lot and lot.
Wow.
Yes.
So today we had on set Mr. Paul Ashuma,
Yes.
and he talked about youth empowerment and how they have been empowering the youth over time. We've learned about the importance. It's a national group. You can find them, and he is the Secretary General of that group. So I'll ask him a question. Do you have social media handles?
Yes.
How can the youth reach you?
Okay. I have my own social media handle, first of all.
Yeah.
I have a YouTube channel known as Paul Ashuma. Yeah, I also do some stuff of comedy.
Yeah.
And also educate people through YouTube. Also, we have the WhatsApp groups, Vijana Tukorada WhatsApp groups.
Yeah.
There's a national group. You can just contact me or reach me via 0723 742249 so that we may interact and join you to the Vijana Tukorada movement. I have a Facebook account, Paul Ashuma, another one known as Paul Andriano. You can find me there. I have a Instagram account known as Governor Paul, which is my other title.
Okay.
Thank
wow, Governor Paul.
Yeah.
So we really had a good time talking about youth empowerment. Personally, I feel so empowered, and I hope you at home have also felt very empowered. You can reach him, Vijana Tukorada, by looking on Instagram at Paul Ashuma. So see you next time. We had a really nice time talking to all of you.